Good morning. Oh, good morning. Thanks for coming in a little bit early. I always like to take a few minutes and just say hello and let me know where you're logging in from. We get people from all over the country logging in for these webinars, and I'm in Southern California, but it's a pretty nice morning here today. Kind of a little bit cool, but just a lovely morning. Let me know where you are logging in from. Oh, I see San Diego already. We probably have fairly similar weather. We're kind of neighbors.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And we have a great webinar this morning, and I'm in Irvine, California.
Excellent. We're definitely talking LinkedIn today, and I love it as I think it's my favorite platform for social. There's just, I don't know, it's I think a more comfortable space. I think the others are quite entertaining, but as far as promoting our business, I'm liking LinkedIn. Everybody will get a recording of the webinar, absolutely. And that comes directly from SCORE, and you'll get a copy of the slides. And like I said, comes directly from SCORE, and usually you'll get it within the next day. Let me know if you have any specific questions about LinkedIn. I'm going to keep chat open and look at it throughout the presentation. So feel free to post any of your questions while we're doing it, because I like to answer them in real time. And I really appreciate your engagement too. And I just posted a question in chat. Are you using LinkedIn right now for your business? Are you brand new to LinkedIn? Let me know. I can absolutely tailor today to your specific needs and what you are looking to get out of really exploring LinkedIn for business. I see. Thanks, Jill, for posting. You're using LinkedIn. Fairly new to it, which is great. Welcome. Good day to do that. And you're commenting on relevant posts first. Gold star. And I'm going to be talking about that later, how important it is for all of us to start the engagement on LinkedIn. And Selena's saying they have a profile on LinkedIn, but never really used it. I'm so glad you're here today. I hope I can get you excited about using LinkedIn to have not just build your business, but to be seen as that industry leader. And like I said, we start right at 10 o'clock. I am in Southern California, so Pacific time, but really we're just about a minute out, and I will be looking over at chat. So if you have any questions, now's a great time to be posting. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. I was saying earlier how much I really enjoy LinkedIn as a platform. So I'm happy I have an opportunity to maybe get you a little bit more excited about it and using it for your business. I think it's a really good platform for business. So in this day of AI this and AI that, it's really me. I'm sitting here with you today. And that's why I keep saying I have chat open. I'm going to be looking over at chat. If you have questions, I want to be able to answer them in real time for you. These days, my company, we're called digital creators because everything is online these days and video is a big part of that, but we do photos and animations and anything visual. Now, oh my goodness, AI video, it's something else, gotta tell you. But all of that is my wheelhouse. And LinkedIn is a great place to showcase what you do, whether it's with content that you're writing or visuals that you're creating. That's really what we're going to talk about today. So any questions that you've got about LinkedIn, like I said, if I'm not addressing them when you want, post in chat and we'll be talking about them. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramos, and on most other social, I'm under my business name, which is Harmony 3 Productions. If you want my best tips on a semi-regular basis, you can scan the QR code. You will be getting a copy of the presentation itself, the video, and the slides, so you can always go back and find the QR code. But my newsletter it's kind of like that little inner circle where I'm willing to take some risks and show some things that I'm just playing with, but that I'm excited about. That might end up as a webinar later, but you'll get first choice to take a peek at it. So let's dive in. Why do I think LinkedIn is just a gold mine for your business? Well, people on LinkedIn have pretty high buying power, and 4 out of 5 LinkedIn users drive the business decisions for using your services or buying your product. So you're in front of a really good audience, and it's B2B focused. LinkedIn generates about 80% of B2B, business to business leads from social media. So if that's your target market, LinkedIn is a great place for you. I love it because you can get more views on your work or product or whatever it is that you do. LinkedIn is, especially these days when everything else is really pay to play, the ads are expensive and organic isn't working like it used to. LinkedIn still, organic reach is pretty darn good. So I want to talk about setting up your profile first, because if somebody's looking at your profile on LinkedIn, that's your first impression. So it starts with your headline. And these days, you've probably, heard hashtags, and now you're starting to hear more like keywords and key phrases. I think hashtags are probably on their way out, if not already saying goodbye. But keywords and key phrases are so important. So your headline should basically reflect you, reflect who you want to reach, and most important, does it tell me how you can help me? And using keywords and key phrases gets the algorithm to be able to know what you do. So you not only have to explain yourself to your target audience, you have to be very clear that the algorithm knows what you do. So go beyond your job title in your headline and include some specialties and the value that you bring. So a digital marketing strategist driving 3 times ROI for tech startups. That would be pretty specific if that's what you did. Says you're a strategist. It gives an actual number, the 3 times ROI, and the industry that you're looking to connect with, tech startups. So if you did that, that's a pretty clear headline. Okay, I see a question here. Like I said, feel free to be posting questions as you come up with them. Getting into a new industry, had a LinkedIn account for years but rarely use it, and it's in a totally different industry. Should you keep using that one or start a new one? It really depends how many, and you're not going to start a new one because you only get one. It is tied to you. LinkedIn is tied to you as a person. If you had no followers and, like you said, totally different industries, you might want to refresh it, like change your banner, change your headline, all of that. But you're not going to get a new LinkedIn account. LinkedIn is about people. So it is really you, real name, really what you do. If you have a lot of connections already and you're going into a different industry, I would be posting about your change. I would change your headline, change your banner image so people know you're going in a different direction, and then you will be getting new followers that are related to what you're going to do in the future. All right. So I like to use AI anytime I can to help me because it makes things easier. I never take what AI gives me word for word. And and I can't stress enough how important it is for you to do the same thing. Put your own experience and expertise on anything it gives you. But I use it every day. I would use AI to help optimize your about section, right? Anytime I'm writing something, I'm using AI to polish it, make more sense, and make it more concise. AI can analyze your profile, right? Your role, what industry you're in, and your target audience to suggest, again, keyword rich headlines and summaries that can improve search visibility. That's an advanced move if I was trying to do that myself. So I welcome that I can use a tool like ChatGPT or any of the AI models that are out there. There's so many of them now. Personally, I use ChatGPT, I use Manus. Those are the two that I personally use. But any best practices that I'm talking about AI can really go to whatever one that you are using. So David was saying his industry is metal fabrication, mostly B2B. You would give that information to whatever AI you're using and ask it, what information can I give you about my business so you can help me write a better LinkedIn headline and about section? And it will tell you what you can give it, what information you can give it, so that it gives you a better output that's geared towards you. If you just say, write me a headline, I'm in metal fabrication industry, it doesn't know you. It doesn't know what your target market is. It's going to give you generic stuff. Anytime you're using any AI, you want to give it as much information as you can, except, caveat, no proprietary information. I don't put anything proprietary in with the AIs that I'm using. It says you can opt out. I don't trust it. So if something is proprietary, just redact it or give it something in general terms, but such a help. So instead of business consultant helping companies grow, AI could refine something like that too. Business consultant helping SMBS improve cash flow, team performance, and exit value. That's much more clear, and there's keywords in there. More specific, it's more searchable and more relevant to the type of people that you want to come see your actual profile. All right, your profile. It starts with a headshot. Like I said, AI can help you with writing, but you need to show up as you. So I recommend a photo of you. A professional headshot and background banner should look and give a great impression the first time people see it. You can use a high quality, approachable looking profile photo and then select a banner that reflects your industry or your brand. But these days, AI can help with your photo too. You can upload 6 selfies that I would not recommend just a general selfie for your LinkedIn profile. I want it to look polished and professional. And it will take you, your face, and put them in more polished, professional looking photos. It's remarkable. There's many programs out there that can do that. Even something like ChatGPT can do it. You give it a selfie that you like and say, put me in a business outfit in a blurred business background behind me, and it can do that for you. I also want you to think about when you're posting things to have video of you. These days, video, even on LinkedIn, even though LinkedIn is not as video focused as, say, TikTok or Instagram Reels or any other social, video plays a huge part. And anytime you are talking to your audience, it should be you on camera. That authenticity is great, but AI can help with that too. You can use an avatar. You can use an avatar of you. You could have a great photo of you and have it be talking and sound like you. I'm going to show you an example of that. And the example that I'm showing you, I made literally a couple months ago, and it was pretty good. Things have gotten even better these days. It is remarkable. But I'm always pretty clear on letting people know that it is an avatar. I'm not trying to, pull the wool over anybody's eyes, but what a way to make content so much faster and have it still be you saying it. So let me show you a LinkedIn post I made about sharing your wins and why I think that's important, because it's not bragging. Well, let me let the AI talk to you about it. Here's the truth. Silence doesn't inspire anyone, but your wins do. Sharing your wins isn't bragging. It's proof of the impact you're making. When you post about an accomplishment, you're not just patting yourself on the back, you're giving others insight, encouragement, and maybe even permission to celebrate their own progress. So here's your challenge. Think of a recent win, big or small, and share it today. Let people see the good work you're doing. And if you want more ideas to share your story with confidence, follow along with me at Harmony 3 Productions. So that's AI Ronnie. And in the beginning of the video, there was a little lower third saying, this is Ronnie, sort of. This is an example of, I gave Aragon, Aragon, like 6 selfie type photos of me, ones that I would not use for a profile picture on LinkedIn because they just didn't look professional enough, but I liked what they looked. And it gave me all of these different options. Then I can take it into another platform. HeyGen is what I used, and animate it up. Make it say me talking. That's my voice. I recorded the voiceover. Yeah, I can make things a lot easier for all of us these days. Okay, let's talk about your about section. It should be compelling, right? Lead with your unique value proposition. What is your differentiator? What separates you from everybody else on LinkedIn who probably does something similar to what you do? Then weave in 3 to 5 industry keywords for SEO. And again, you can ask AI for help with that. And keep it client focused. I help whatever it is that you do. So you can, whatever that win is for your customer, they've got a pain point, you've got the solution. Those are the type of topics that you should be making your posts about. So your AI keyword selection and keywords that help for discovery on LinkedIn should be woven in, natural speaking, not just loaded in at the bottom, like sometimes you would see hashtags done. Those keywords should be as you naturally speak or write, right? You're not just stuffing them into the bottom. But AI can identify which keywords your ideal clients are actually searching for. And this is the key. This is what's so important. What they put in the search bar. How do I, right? When is, whatever questions your audience is asking, that question should be phrased in your about section, because that's what they're going to be looking for. And that's how the algorithms can show your stuff, your posts and your solutions to the people who are actually looking for them. For example, a marketing consultant might learn that lead generation strategy, B2B content marketing, fractional CMO, they're high value search terms. And they might update their profile once they learn that those are things that people are actually searching for. it boosts your discoverability without sounding robotic. You gotta weave that in to natural writing and natural speak. So a little more on the AI help. I definitely use AI to help with alignment and clarity. So alignment to my target audience and how to make it more clear. So how does that AI help? It can review your profile and flag areas that are unclear, inconsistent, or too vague. A lot of times when we're writing our profile and we're just like trying to stuff things in there, the AI can really say, okay, you were a little repetitive here, or you were unclear here. I know that you specialize in this, but we need to up that to the top of your about. It's remarkable once they kind of get a sense of who you are, how the AI can help. So some example prompts that you could give to AI. Does my profile clearly say who I help and how? What type of client would be most attracted to this profile? What if it says this type of client and you're like, that is not my target audience? Work with the AI to refine your about section. What about rewrite this to sound more client focused? Everything that you write, everything that you post should be client focused. That's how they're going to find you. That's what they're looking for. And you are here to help them, educate them, entertain them. It's about them. It's not really about you. It's about you helping them. The result then becomes a profile that speaks to the reader, not just your resume. Okay. I just wanted to show you quickly an example of some templates for your banner. So you've got your profile picture, but then there's that banner behind you. I can't tell you how many profiles I look at, and it's that gray template from LinkedIn that they haven't done anything with. It makes it look like you didn't know to do something with it. And so I'm giving you the clue, do something with it. There's so many templates in, say, Canva, these are all in Canva, that you can easily customize so that it really reflects you and your brand. Okay, I think I see a couple questions here. All right. How should one start and build on it? So looking to use for a business that's nonprofit. I would start with the steps that we're just going through, setting up your profile, setting up your about section. Again, it is based on you, right? If you are saying, I see it's a business that's a nonprofit, it still has to start with a person. Then once you have your personal profile in place, and it has to be in place for so long, I'm not exactly sure how long, but you can't do it like the same day. You have to have so many number of followers, and then you can set up your business profile. But if this, Wayne is saying it's a nonprofit, if this is your nonprofit, then I would put a lot of that information in your personal page, right? Because it is about people. Yes, you can have a business page also. And if you have a business page, then I would post on the business page and then you share that onto your personal page. Okay, let's see, I see another question here. Jose, two totally different jobs. How do you suggest to manage that? It's still you. And I don't see a problem unless for some reason you just don't want one audience to know about the other. You could have two separate business pages, right? But you still only get one you page. But if you can weave them together at all, I would do that. Let them know who. These days, people want to do business with people that they know and like and understand. And if you are so capable of having two completely different things that you do, that's really unique and interesting. So I would look at ways that you could focus on both, but yes, have different business pages for both, and then you can selectively share and onto your personal page from which business page you want to. Let's see. Someone's saying the name of the AI agents I could suggest for everything we're describing. As I said, I use ChatGPT for pretty much everything that I've talked about so far. Um, my biggest tip to you with that is let the AI that you're using understand who you are. But everything I'm talked about, I have used ChatGPT for. Okay. Now, you also get a profile link. So if you're new setting up your profile, or if you haven't done it before, double check. So when you open up your LinkedIn, you're looking at it as a as an admin. You'll see where my little red arrow is, your profile and your URL. Mine says linkedin.com/in, and that's in the beginning of everybody's, and then it has my name. If you have not gone through and set it up, it's just going to be a bunch of numbers that makes no sense, right? But that's what LinkedIn gives you. You can go in and customize that. So you go to linkedin.com on your name, you're going to add also your email, your website, and anything else relevant. As I said, you are going to get a copy of the slides and the presentation. So I'm just going to go over this quickly, but you'll get a copy of this. Follow this so that you can customize your LinkedIn name, your URL. So it's not just a bunch of letters and numbers. If you are typing in and it comes up that name is already taken, like say Ronnie Ramus, when I first started, I was able to get it. But what if it said no? Well, you could put in a middle initial, you could put in a keyword, customize it a little bit until you just keep trying, and then it will. Or maybe you put in your company name with your name. It'll tell you whether it was available or not. But I think it's definitely worth the effort to get that custom URL for your LinkedIn personal page. Okay. Now you've got your experience section. So this is where I want it to differ from just a resume. Describe your achievements, not your responsibilities, right? We want to know how you excelled at whatever it is, and use metrics. So just like I said, that 3 times the ROI or whatever it is, and absolutely anything that you're putting in as stats or testimony, they have to be true. You have to be able to back them up. Then you've got your skills, there's endorsements and recommendations. You can list a lot of skills, but if you're listing a lot of skills and nobody's endorsing you from them, then it looks like you're just making stuff up. So list a sizable number of skills, but pin your top 5 to your actual profile, and that those skills should be the ones that your target audience is actually searching for. Definitely request recommendations from people that you've worked with, or people that have used your services on those skills. So you can ask clients or colleagues who've worked with you to give you endorsements or recommendations for those skills. Then it really can up the value of when people are looking at your profile. Definitely think about multimedia. Let's use video. It is really the way that people want to get their content these days. It's quicker, and that motion is scroll stopping. LinkedIn, as I said, still really does well with carousel posts, do really well. Longer posts can do really well, but don't ignore video, especially if you can be on video talking to your audience. You can showcase case studies with it. You can share presentations. Definitely keep your profile up to date and highlight the latest things that you're working on. You want it always to look fresh. Impressions. You might say, what's an impression? Well, it's when people go to your stuff and look at it. And people on LinkedIn, they look, but they're not always making comments. They're not always sharing. So track the actual impressions, and LinkedIn does give you those type of analytics. It lets you know that LinkedIn's showing your stuff, or people are finding your stuff. If you're getting a lot of impressions, you know that there's something happening with that post. So do more like that. It's something that you might not think about tracking, but on LinkedIn, it is different. It gives you the analytics for impressions, and know that on LinkedIn, a lot of people are just looking, but not necessarily commenting. So there are key metrics on LinkedIn that you definitely should consider: your profile and your individual post views. You can see who's checking you out, and you can see which posts are drawing the biggest audience. Your engagement rate is, there's likes, comments, shares, impressions, and that equals how compelling your content is. If you're getting nothing, rethink it, try to figure it out, maybe ask AI for some input. If you're getting nothing, start making changes, and I would make one change at a time, because otherwise you're not going to know what worked and what didn't. But if you're posting on a regular basis, it gives you the opportunity to really test a lot of things. Follower growth, another great metric to track. Track your new followers over time and measure your audience expansion. Is your audience growing? Is it staying stale? Are you losing followers? And you can check the demographics and industries of your followers. If you can understand their job titles and locations and sectors of your viewers, you can create content that's more geared towards them. You might even find some sectors that you hadn't thought of, but are interested in your content. That's great intel for you. Gauge how often your calls to action are actually working. That's the clicks on your links. Is it working for you? Maybe you need to change what you're saying for your call to action. When you regularly check those numbers, it helps you spot trends on your profile, like which topics spark conversation or which headlines draw more clicks. And you can double down on what works, and the things that are not getting any traction, experiment with. If it's good content, experiment with it until you can find a way that you can get your message out. Okay, I see another question here. You've evolved in LinkedIn, started as a manager working for other companies, but been self-employed. You've updated your LinkedIn profile and added your business and service pages. That's great. I'm just confused how to use LinkedIn for my business benefits. Do I post ads? Do I post like I do on Facebook and Instagram? You can do ads just like you can on any other social platform, but I would start first with organic, because one, it doesn't cost you anything. You definitely make posts just like Facebook and Instagram. And a good thing to know is that I start making my posts for LinkedIn first, and then I share the same post on Facebook and on Instagram. You don't know who of your contact sphere is going to see you on LinkedIn, who's going to see you on your other social. So you've already created it. Why not get more mileage out of it? Since my audience is mostly fits into the B2B LinkedIn realm, that's why I start the posts I make for LinkedIn. And then I have no problem using that for my content for Instagram and for Facebook. When you make your content, definitely speak to your audience. Again, you can use AI to help you figure out who that is and the language that they respond to, and post on a regular basis. If you're posting once in a while, the algorithm's not going to help you, and a lot of people kind of forget you're there and may not even follow you or may unfollow you. Posting on a regular basis can absolutely help your visibility. The other things that help your visibility, and we're going to go into those too, is you interacting first. And that means commenting on other people's posts, right? Connecting, following other people. It gets more exposure for you. Like I said, I will be talking about that in just a minute. Selena's saying, your services are local. but you find your LinkedIn contacts and relationships all over the place. And your B2C. Now, B2B is really, I think, the sweet spot in LinkedIn, but there is a lot of people that would purchase stuff. I don't know what your product or service is, but absolutely be posting on LinkedIn also. If your audience is more on Facebook and Instagram, make the post more geared to that, but then share them on your LinkedIn page. I use all three. I use the same post, saves me time, saves me energy, but my main thing I can tell you is post consistently. And some of the other tips that I'm going to give you for engagement. All of the channels need work, but LinkedIn, I got to tell you, you have to start. It is not just going to boom, all of a sudden people follow you. Okay, let's see. All right. Your profile and your post views, again, you're going to get a copy of all this so you can, you don't have to take all notes, but I just want you to know that you can check each post and you can check your profile separately to see who's looking at your profile and to see who's looking at your individual posts. All right. You could also access that demographic breakdown. And this is where I just think LinkedIn excels. You can see and filter for who's looking at your stuff. You might be surprised. You might go, I didn't know that that industry was looking at my stuff. You won't know unless you just go in and do a little bit of research, and it's right there on your profile. Like I said, you're going to get the steps to go through it step by step. But once you have that data, interpret that. What does that mean? Identify your top 3 industries that are connecting with your profile or your posts, and then tailor more content, examples, case studies, so that the things that they are being challenged with in their business and you can be a solution to, those are the type of posts you should be making. And like I said, there could be some unexpected segments that you hadn't really thought of. Make some posts that can apply to them too. And then definitely compare the seniority levels of the people that are looking at your profile and your posts, because you might want to adjust the tone of your messaging. So maybe it's more strategic if executive level is interacting with you, or more tactical if it's managers. Just a lot of information that's good to know. All right. Lisa was saying, can I show the previous slide again? You will be getting a copy of the slides and of the presentation itself. And that comes from SCORE, usually within the next day or so. So this is what I was talking about on LinkedIn. You start. That means you start the engagement. Follow, like, comment. People get notified if you follow them. Does that mean they're going to follow you back? Not necessarily, maybe. But engagement works. Other people see your engagement. That's more visibility for you. And definitely be authentic in your engagement. And the bonus is you can learn a lot in your field by following other people in your field, following industry leaders in your field. One, you follow them. Other people see that you're following them. Comment on their post, not just, oh, good post, or thanks for posting. No, add something of value to their post if you can. I don't want you making up stuff, because in LinkedIn, people are pretty smart. They know whether you're bringing something of value or you're just trying to make a comment. If you have something that adds to that thread, absolutely post it. People see that, people read the comments, and maybe, yeah, if it's interesting enough, maybe they'll go to your page, maybe they'll start following you. All right. Now, your post. You have to know what your audience is looking for, and what specifically do you offer that's going to make something easier for them. I want you to share and offer value. Tag other companies only if it's relevant to your specific post. Don't spam. Don't just be tagging companies hoping they'll look at your post, right? That's spamming them. Plus, like I said, people on LinkedIn are smart and they'll see those kind of tactics. Be authentic and give things of value. Timing is also relevant on LinkedIn. It's a business profile. So typically workday hours, say from 8 a.m. to 1, but test it. And I do it in your time zone. I do it in my time zone. I would do it in your time zone for you, because you're never going to hit everybody on their 8 to 1. But if you're focusing on yours, I think that's a pretty safe spot. So LinkedIn is unique that, unlike other platforms, it gives your post a longer lifespan. I love that. Its algorithm prioritizes relevance, right, over recency. It'll often bring up older posts if somebody's looking for it. So your posts have a long, long lifetime. A single post really can continue to gain traction long after it's published. So I would absolutely put your information and content that you are creating geared towards things that are helpful to your audience, because they are always going to be searching for those same things. All right. And it is coming down to storytelling. So personal stories that highlight a lesson, like the example that I showed you of that little video. Maybe it's your wins or your challenges that you're facing, or maybe there's some aha moments in your business. That works because people can relate to that. People connect with storytelling. We have from the time of sitting around fires telling stories, but it shows you and it shows your values, and it is easier to connect with people, and it makes your content memorable. Here's an action tip for you. Post something valuable today, whether it's a story or an insight or a tip that can help your audience. And then I want you to engage with 5 to 10 people. You might say, oh, that sounds like a lot, but it doesn't have to be a lot of time. I just want you to comment on a post, or maybe you start a real conversation. Maybe you are in a LinkedIn group, and then think about optimizing your headline. Make sure that it's clear and benefit driven and searchable. So do those 3 things today or Thursday. You could do it this weekend. Doing something on a regular basis, as simple as something like this, can really help your profile grow in terms of engagement and viewers. All right. Interactive content. So what do I mean by that? Well, I think it's great to make somebody do something else, because, again, it's starting that conversation. And algorithms love interaction. You can post polls or ask questions like choose your favorite, whatever it is. Carousel posts, as I mentioned before, which are posts that you have to scroll through. That is engagement. And again, algorithms like that. Posts that invite clicks or comments and shares. All you're doing are using tools to get the algorithm to help you. And the more that you can get your viewers to engage with your posts, the algorithm will show it to more people. The other thing that I think LinkedIn really excels at is genuine conversations. And posts that are interactive can sometimes spark those conversations. And my best tip to you is, if somebody starts commenting and you can reply back, have that conversation go a little bit. Every interaction is something that the algorithm definitely likes. All right. Back to video for a minute. So I think that your face builds trust, right? And your video, I want it to help you build business. So you've got your face, you've got your voice, and you've got your message. Now, this image has the camera in the phone, and I think all of us have a really good camera built into our phone. Horizontal. These days, it's vertical. So it's kind of go tall or go home. It is important that you have at least a cursory understanding of what the social platforms are doing these days so that you don't look like you're out of touch. If you do a horizontal video, is it the end of the world? No. But most videos these days are vertical. So try that. It's just holding your phone vertical instead of horizontal. Share one smart thing. One thing per video. You don't want to be going on and on. Nobody's going to listen to it. Videos these days are very short. Share one valuable tip. Start strong. You've heard start with a hook. That's what I mean. Something to stop the scroll. Start with something important or something unique that will stop the scroll and they'll watch your video. Pair it with a caption. Absolutely have captions on your videos. A lot of people these days watch all their videos with the sound off. That's why you see so many of them with really unique captions or even just, your basic closed captions in there. You also want to make sure that you are accessible in any of the content that you're creating. You are a business. We are held to not just suggestions, but actual, requirements to have our content be accessible. So captions are very important. And talk like a human. If you're having AI write your scripts, make sure that you read it out loud and it sounds like a human talking. Again, authenticity is the gold standard. So video on LinkedIn, yes, please. All right. Post on a regular schedule. Can you commit to 5 times a week? A lot of us starting out, that's a big no. When I get busy, I can't post 5 times a week. Can you commit to 3 times a week? Can you commit to once a week? Whatever it is, just be consistent. Even 1 time a week is a win if you can do that on a regular basis, because algorithms like consistency and the algorithm can absolutely help you out. Know that if LinkedIn is showing you content from people in your area of interest, right, that you don't even know them, but your area of interest is like, oh, I like that. It's doing the same for other people too. So if you have content that is valuable, the algorithm is going to hopefully find people that are looking exactly for what you're showing. Again, that's why those keywords and key phrases become so important. If it's showing content to you, it might be showing you content that's based on what your connections are engaging with. That's why liking, following, connecting with other people in your industry, with other people that would be your audience is very important. Follow and connect with people in your field. All right. As I said before, LinkedIn is based on you. You are basically the personal brand. Yes, you can have a business page. You can have a couple of different business pages if that's what you have, but you have one you. You're the brand. So how do you get noticed? Well, my best tip is you be you. Your genuine thoughts on a subject, and once in a while, combine a little bit of the personal with the professional. This is not like the other social channels where you're showing what you had for breakfast. Once in a while, like I said, show a little bit of what you're doing or how you do it, or sharing a win like I showed you, and connect with your audience on that personal level. But it is a small portion of what you're doing, but it does humanize you. It is important. I want you to be seen as a thought leader. That's big credibility. So how do you do that? How do you establish credibility? Well, you can speak on podcasts, you can be on panels or webinars, you can speak at networking events that you do. And what you want to do is kind of leverage anything that you've got like that, anything that's setting you up as a thought leader. You can publish original research. You have case studies already of things that you have done that are making your clients better or happier or make their workflow better. Whatever it is you do, that's been successful. That's a case study. You think about collaborating with some other industry leaders to cross promote your expertise. Think about positioning yourself as a thought leader by teaching what you already know. You're in business, you know a lot. You don't need to be the best in your field. You just need to be willing to share what you have learned. So we're not quite halfway into this new year, so I'm still considering it a new year. And part of that LinkedIn personal page, that brand, is branding you. So what do I think that means in 2026? Well, I think it's how people experience you before you even say a word. So your brand isn't just what you say, it's how you make people feel. And today, I really want to weave in some tips to align how you're going to show up online, that it aligns with the person that you are. So those first impressions really work as you. And SCORE always says that your success story starts here. And I think on LinkedIn, it starts by you being you and showing up as you, as your brand, every time anybody sees you. So if it's your business, your website should reflect that. Your all social media should reflect that. Any of your videos should reflect that. If you are the personal brand, that consistency, that professionalism should show in everything when people see you, wherever they see your content. So LinkedIn tips that I would suggest you start right now. LinkedIn is paying a lot more attention these days to the actual language in your post than anything added at the end. And what do I mean by that? I mean, not stacking at the end, definitely not hashtags, but even keywords and key phrases. The algorithms don't like that. People reading it don't like that. Weave them into your actual human conversation, your writing that you are in your post. You're weaving those keywords into your text. The words you use in full sentences, like industry terms or role titles and natural business phrases, help LinkedIn understand who your content is for and where it belongs. You're trying to help the algorithm here. And that means clarity and context matter more than any kind of formatting tricks that, some of the other channels are using. The key takeaway is really that relying on keywords and phrases that your audience actually uses, that they actually search for, is where I would start when you're making your posts on LinkedIn. Hashtags these days are optional, but like I said, I am not using them. I am not using them for my clients, but keywords are not optional. All right. I love this tip. Leave the conversation open. I mean that posts that explain everything tend to end the conversation. Like, you're the expert, here it is, boom. Posts that leave one thought unfinished invite people to step in. And again, you're trying to get engagement. An incomplete post doesn't mean that it's vague, it means it's focused. So what could that look like? It's a clear idea without the conclusion. For an example, a post header could be, the hardest part of building a personal brand isn't visibility. That's it, full stop. So the conversation could start with, you could add a simple question to the end. What do you think it is? Or you continue the thought, and this is something that I do try, continue the thought in your first comment with more context. So you're not withholding value, you're creating space for it. I love asking the question, and I love utilizing that first comment. Incomplete posts, I think, invite that conversation, especially if you're asking a question like, what do you think about it? I also like, what if you ask that question and nobody's commenting? Then use the tip that I mentioned about you expanding on your post in the first comment. You can be the first comment. All right. I also see a lot of people commenting about if I put a link in my LinkedIn post, is it killing my reach? So there's, you hear things about how the algorithm, nobody knows how the algorithm works exactly, but this is one of the things that people talk about. So they're typically saying that links inside the main post can slow down the distribution early. Does that mean you should never put a link in the main post? No, I put links in the main post all the time. But if you can think about it, put your link in the first comment, as I was saying, and add it after the engagement kind of starts. So what I do when I'm making a post, if I'm going to plan on something like this, I do it in the morning. I sit there with my coffee. I can wait and see if there's a little bit of engagement, and then put the link in the first comment. Again, we're kind of helping the algorithm there. If the algorithm is like, I don't want them to go off of LinkedIn, I'm not going to show their link right away, then we're kind of circumventing that by using the first comment for that. All right. Posting is only half the strategy. The real reach often comes from responding to comments, engaging with other people's posts, and being visible after you hit publish. And what do I mean by that? I mean, don't post and ghost. If you make a post and people are commenting and you're not commenting back, you're losing such an opportunity. They're active right then. Comment back right then. Let's see, I think I see another question here. How often is post consistently? Whatever you can commit to, I applaud you for. As I said, if you can only commit to posting once a week, absolutely gold star. If you can commit to 3 times a week or 5 times a week, hooray, that's amazing. But it's not good to jump in. I'm going to post 5 times a week and do it for 2 weeks and then go, this is a lot of work, I'm not going to do this. Then algorithms and your followers don't like that. Start small. If you're starting new, commit to once a week, build it up. If you can do 3 times a week, that's awesome. If you're a pro, gold star pro, post 5 times a week, even better. But posting things that are of value to your audience. Okay. The old playbook for selling, I think, is broken. And this applies on LinkedIn too. Cold calls. I don't think any of us like that. And we get a lot of things just like that on LinkedIn. They're called DMs, direct messages. I don't know about you, but I get those and I delete them. Or if I'm following those people, I unfollow them. It's that spray and pray tactic that usually lands in spam folders. And the open rates are really low. Response rates are lower. I just don't have the time or energy to, just send something out like that and have it not be landing, have it not be converting. It's endless chasing, following up on leads that were never qualified to begin with, and burning through your sales team energy on prospects who aren't ready to buy. That approach treats lead generation like a numbers game, and where success means just grinding harder, not smarter. You deserve better, and your prospects expect a lot better. And these days they expect more sophisticated engagement. So the strategic shift is from pushing your stuff out like to so many people to pulling it to you. These are people that want your content. So you can leverage systems that can scale without proportional effort on your part. That is utilizing AI. Fewer and better qualified prospects, the people that are following you, that like your content, those are maybe fewer, but they're way better qualified because they're already liking what you're posting. It can help with shorter sales cycles and definitely higher closing rates. And credibility says so much about you, and again, that trust that you're building with your audience. You can do that by being helpful, giving. People think, how am I just going to give my stuff away? You're not going to give away everything, but you're giving things that are helpful to them. Maybe it's just thoughts, maybe it's encouragement. You're not giving away your services, but we all know things that we can share that are helpful for somebody. And maybe they'll be like, wow, if I'm getting this for free, imagine what it would be like if I hired them. AI not just can help you target better, but it fundamentally can change how it can help you attract and engage your prospects. So instead of chasing, you're creating content and systems that make the right prospect want to engage with you. So let's look at 5 ways that I like to think of AI as being helpful, things you might not have thought of. And you can do this without AI, but like I said, I use it every day. But you could absolutely do this without AI. Content as a magnet. You can use thought leadership blogs or LinkedIn posts, personalized video that is, again, giving solutions to the pain points that your audience had. What about having webinars or roundtables? That would be amazing to your audience if you're giving your time and energy to answer their questions, come up with ideas that are helpful for them. There's interactive AI tools. Even without AI, you can have quizzes and, like I said, those carousel posts, anything that makes it a little interactive. Monitor your analytics. That's that social listening to see which posts of yours are doing well, right? And what the demographics are that are looking at your page and your posts. All right. Make a LinkedIn post today. You don't need a recap of something that you've worked on. You don't need a perfect photo. Share one insight, one takeaway, one idea per post. So it makes it easier for you. Then you don't have to say, oh, I can talk about this, and I can talk about that. Those are all individual posts. That's more content you can make. Something that really reflects how you think or how you work. Small, consistent posts keep you visible and they keep conversations going. As I said, I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see the type of posts you're making. I want to be able to interact and we can help each other as brands. And I want to say especially thank you to SCORE. I had a SCORE mentor when I started my business. I would not have a business today without the benefits I got from a SCORE mentor. If you have not gotten a free SCORE mentor yet, in addition to making a LinkedIn post today, definitely reach out to SCORE and get a mentor for your business. No matter what stage of business you're in, they can help you. They have people in so many different industries. So that would be my biggest takeaway for you from today. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's absolutely my pleasure to share with you. And again, a big thank you to SCORE.
Thank you so much, Ronnie.
Absolutely. I was just seeing if we have any other questions. We just have a minute or two left. I don't see any other questions. So thank you all so much. And like I said, get a SCORE mentor.